never alone when you've got me. This is Sophie Knows Best. I'm proud to be single, and you should be too. Remember, always be authentically you, all of the time. Yesterday's post. The Instagram clip alone got 32,000 likes. The full video is on YouTube and nearing 1 million views. I don't know how it happens. Are you ready? Asks Christian. Not yet, I say. He goes out of the kitchen and into the yard to make a phone call. We have a ton of yard since we moved to Sandown, New Hampshire. Christian doesn't like us to stay in one place too long. People get curious. I've become someone who non-ironically talks to cows. They're not mine. The cows belong to Alice, a next door neighbor. She moved home to take care of her sick mother, and now we hang out some nights. In summer, we'd set up our lawn chairs 6 feet apart and drink wine. Alice wants to move to Boston when this is all over because she thinks that's the place to be for film. If it works for Ben Affleck, she tells me. I don't judge her, but I think she's too scared to move to New York. I am not afraid of New York. In fact, that's where I'm from. But I haven't been back in 13 years. Christian wanted me somewhere quiet so that I wouldn't be bothered after the accident. What about your family? Alice asks. This was back in April. Oh, we don't really talk anymore, I say. Because of the election, she asks. I blink my eyes, and that is apparently all the confirmation she needs. I don't tell her how I watched my parents' murder through the keyhole of a broom closet. I never know when to bring that up organically. Christian knocks on the window. He points to his watch. Not yet, I mouth. Today's video is very important to me. I have to be honest with my friends. Christian would correct me and that they're my followers, not my friends, but it's all the same to me. I have to tell them the truth. I can usually do it all in one take. The comments are so supportive when I flubber my words. They see what's natural and what isn't. When I first got into vlogging, I wouldn't be happy until like the 9th take. But that wasn't real. I do plan ahead. You can't just wing it either. That isn't fair to the people who watch you. Never post when you're feeling anxious, even with professional snaps. Do not post if you believe it'll make you feel better in a moment of insecurity, because it won't. If you do that, you'll also spend all night refreshing the feed, watching the likes tick up slowly. It's like counting sheep, but worse. And a watched post never goes places. Counting sheep. That's exactly it. Before Mr. Sandman comes to kill you. A man will never truly love you until he shares his Prime login. Don't be appeased with Netflix. Would I steer you wrong? Not a day in my life. You can't go shopping on Netflix, can you? He's got to trust you with something more valuable. And well, free next day delivery. It'll be to your house before he even knows he bought you presents. That's what Sophie Knows Best is all about. Relationship advice. Horror stories from a dating warrior. Practical stuff. Except I forgot to tell everyone that I've been dating the same guy for 16 years. This was just a silly little quarantine project I started in April. I never actually thought it would take off. All it took was Alice telling me that what came out of my mouth in between sips of boxed wine was a golden tweet. Tell you what, the wine wasn't half bad, and I started my virtual advice column the next afternoon. It's a trilateral approach. YouTube is my main operations hub. Twitter is for quotes from my videos, but mostly I just retweet Kamala Harris. And Instagram is a lifestyle snapshot. What I'm like at home, basically. In the main posts, I might be all glammed up and repping pomegranate mimosas, which are legit amazing. I never do partnerships unless I really care about the project. But in stories, my hair is in a bun, but I only wear a little bit of makeup. It's important for people to see me as a real person. Because I am a real person. Christian says it's great that I found an outlet. I think he's just happy my nightmare stopped. Around the side of the house. Those cellar doors. Mr. Sandman. When we lived at the house on 74th and Roosevelt Avenue, I would go to him at night. Christian tells me I need to concentrate. I didn't even hear him come back inside. I can tell when your mind drifts, he says. My mind. It goes all sorts of places. No one knows you as well as I do. Never forget that, he says. My mind can get so muddy. And then I lose my way. 300,000 followers on Instagram. Where did they come from? We have all this land out back, but I only ever see Christian and Alice. Surely I could invite some of the 300,000 over for a picnic and we can all talk about how much we love each other. God, I'm so stupid. Are you ready? Christian asks again. I'm ready. And then he hits record. A double text isn't just okay. It's right. Never feel ashamed that your screen is blue with all of your text to him. It just shows him how much you're willing to fight for what you believe in. And when you think maybe you've texted him too much, just send one more. Then he'll really know. No one is going to fucking watch this anyway, so what does it matter? It hasn't been the easiest few weeks. The utmost betrayal. I thought I could trust you, but you lied to me. Liars should be locked up. Liars should be held accountable for their deception. Why did you think it was okay to date other people? I haven't dated, and all this time, you've been seeing somebody else. That's from Tucker. Tucker is a total follower. He's pissed. His was one of the nicer comments. Lying slut, fraud, vacuous poser, loser shithead. Not that hot. I never thought having a boyfriend would make everyone hate me. But Christian is, he's worth it. Christian had to go away for a while. We've postponed our anniversary dinner. We were going to eat outside before it got too cold, and places are open inside at reduced capacity, but I'm not ready for that. Not counting my trips to the mailbox and back, I haven't left the house since July. Why can't you have your space here? I asked him. Because you're here, he said. He said he wants to concentrate on getting his OnlyFans started. It's some sort of subscription service where people pay a monthly fee to have access to Christian. He's going to be their virtual boyfriend. He'll give them advice and get to know them, make them feel special. And that's what social media is all about, making real connections. I get it. I get it. I'm so supportive. But in a moment of weakness, I asked him, what's wrong with just being my boyfriend? It doesn't pay, he says. Fair enough. My partnerships have all gone away. There's a crate out back. The canned mimosas. Whatever. They were too sweet anyway. And I may have seen better days, but do I really need to drink my champagne from a can? When this all blows over, I'm actually thinking about launching a brand of natural wine. I woke up last night to Alice banging on my door. What's wrong? I ask Alice. It's happening again, she says. What? The night terrors, she says. But I don't remember anything, I tell her. That's not entirely true, but Alice doesn't need to know about Mr. Sandman. I met Mr. Sandman right after Mom and Dad passed. I walked around the side of the house and saw the cellar door open. There was no cellar door on the side of the house, Christian loves to remind me. But there was. I saw it. And he was there. Mr. Sandman, bring me a dream. He climbed the cellar steps, gracious and tall, hands made of velvet. Make him the cutest that I've ever seen. He tipped his hat to me. It was round and tall and nearly sparkled. I was transfixed. I wasn't scared at all. How can you be frightened of dazzling ruby eyes and silky lavender lips? Come on down, my dear. Have I got suitors for you? Do you really? The man of your dreams is right down in the basement. Dreams. But it was real. No, it wasn't. I had a bad dream, I tell Alice. I get to have bad dreams. Not when they wake up my cows, says Alice. She turns to leave. Well, won't you come in for some coffee? I ask. I won't be coming in anymore, she says. Why not? You should have been honest with your followers from the beginning, she says. But you told me not to. I never said that. Get some sleep, freak. And Alice is gone. Before I go back to sleep, I check Instagram and I see a message from Tucker. He says, sorry for lashing out. Still friends? Still friends. I haven't seen anyone in a few days. Alice's car isn't in the driveway. I didn't want to text her and ask. And when the groceries arrive, I always seem to be in the shower, almost like the delivery guy waits for me to leave. No, I can't think like that. Christian always told me alone time makes people crazy. I hate that word. But now I don't have anyone. Christian is dating someone else. He didn't break up with me directly, but I see their posts on Instagram. She's also a lifestyle blogger. I'm not upset. She doesn't seem real to me. She seems like a real phony, if I'm being honest. And I have to be honest. Christian is just doing this to help advance his brand. I would never begrudge him that. He had to live in hiding as my boyfriend all this time. And now it's my turn. The comments have gotten more vicious. They say I was never dating Christian, that I made it up. It has not helped that Christian is also saying I made it up. I bounce all my new ideas off Tucker. We talk every day. If people troll me, he is the first to reply. When my parents died, Christian moved into our house and he was so sweet to me. He handled all the estate mess, the inheritance, the property tax, all those icky words and terms I can't stand. He took care of everything. Christian is coming over tonight. Manifest, don't stress. I just wish he had told me ahead of time he was going to take so much space. We're going to work everything out. He blocked my number. Ask for his address on the second date so you can send him love letters. I promise he won't think it's creepy. He'll appreciate your assertiveness. And honestly, can we stop using creepy as a synonym for romantic? I'm down to 300 YouTube subscribers, all but 700 Instagram followers. I now follow more people than follow me. Pathetic. No. No, it's fine. 700 followers. My loyal crew. Unless they've all muted me. I'll be on top again. I am not worried about that. What have I been saying all along? I know best. I've been alone in the house for too long. I'm fine. I haven't posted. Nothing to say. The house is not. The house is not as quiet as I would like. I hear him again. I hear Mr. Sandman calling out to me. But sometimes he's not so nice. Love is right this way, you worthless bitch, he says. Tucker knows about him now. Are you scared? He asks. I write to Christian. I can't message him directly, but we talk in the comments. He says he misses me. In his way. He likes when I comment. That has to count for something, right? Mr. Sandman is walking down the hall, twisting his velvet hands. Give him tulips like roses and clover. It gets so dark so early now. I can't stand artificial light, but it's all I have to live off of. Then tell him that his lonesome nights are over. I sleep until 3 or 4 most days, and I've barely scooped the folders. Barely got the filter in the coffee maker. How did I forget coffee maker? And before you've had a sip, it's dark. It's so dark. Sandman, I'm so alone. I'm so alone. I'm so alone. I'm so alone. Tucker says he can come right over. That he lives in the neighborhood. It won't take him a minute. There in a jiff. Don't have nobody to call my own. But how does he know where I live? Please turn on your magic beam. Mr. Sandman, bring me a dream. He's coming over, he says. No argument. I need him, he says. He's right outside, he says. Mr. Sandman walks me down the hallway. Love is right this way, you worthless bitch. I open the door. Tucker's waiting for me. I've been so alone. I tell him. And he says to me, you'll never be alone again. If he can't accept you when you're blackout crying at 3 a.m., then he doesn't appreciate the real you. Tucker holds the ring light. He's been so good to me. Alice asked to come for dinner. She says the cows overreacted to my night terrors. She's considering LA and wants my advice. I know it's time to ask Tucker to leave, but it breaks my heart to ask him. I couldn't have done it without my Tucker. I posted 2 videos right away. The inspiration came, and it came hard. It swept all the closet doors closed. No more Mr. Sandman to distract me. The first video got less hate than I anticipated. Tucker only had to come to my defense a few times. Okay, it was such a thrill sitting in a room with someone and watching them press the like button. But the second video is everywhere. Christian must not have really blocked my number because he called me this morning to reschedule our anniversary dinner. But that's past, I told him. Every day is our anniversary from now on, he says. My subscriber count isn't what it used to be, but I gain more and more every day. The mimosa people want me back, but I'm actually meeting with a local brewery next week, and I'm going to start with gluten-free beer before I try selling my own wine. I've got it all planned out. And Tucker, oh, Tucker. We finish recording, and he turns off the light. Tucker, isn't it about time you were heading home? I have nowhere else to be, he tells me. But your job, your family, your friends, I try to be patient. You're my whole world, he says. I tell him that can't be true, that such global declarations can't be applied to me. Wherever you go, says Tucker, I will follow you. But I think it's time for you to go, I tell him. I was afraid you were going to say that, he says. We can still message each other every day, I tell him. I fib a little. I always tell the truth, but sometimes even the truth needs some home improvements. Christian says he's got to go. No more Tucker. I'll head out, he says. Thank you for understanding. It's a relief, but I plan on restricting his ability to message me the second he leaves. But first, he says, a present. For me, I left it right outside. Tucker goes outside to get my present, and that's when I see Mr. Sandman come out of the closet. You mind your own business, I tell him. The latest video hit 1 million views. I told you I was going places. Tucker returns with my present. Don't peek, he says. I'll just close my eyes. Good girl, says Mr. Sandman. I knew everything was going to work out. Sophie knows best. When I hear the rattle of the chainsaw, I'm at first startled. But then I understand. My eyes open. And that understanding took too long. And it's all over very fast. It's so quick. I hardly feel a thing. And then my head is rolling on the floor. And I can see Mr. Sandman applauding Tucker's good work. Love is right this way, if you believe it. Love is always right this way.